Hey y'all, this is Cindy. I'm the Tireless Tangler, and you've arrived at day 76 of the 100 Days of Zentangle Project 2019. Thank you so much for being with me today. I can't believe we're on our last quarter of this project, and it is so exciting. Although I am wondering what to do with myself when we're finished, we're going to come up with something. Our tangle today is called Sails. It is by CZT Helen Williams out of Australia, and Helen is one of my earliest inspirations. Her organic tangles just seem to, they're so beautiful, and so I can't even describe to you how gorgeous her artwork is. So I encourage you to check out Helen Williams. Helen has a blog, and it's called A Little Lime, and it's at blogspot.com, and I really encourage you to check out some of her other tangles. They are beautiful. So, without waiting any further, let's get into Sails. Okay. Sails is a grid-based tangle, and it's based on a square grid, although Helen's tangles always have an organic quality to them. We can definitely do this along wonky grids. So let me show you in a standard square how this is done, and then you can play with it as we did with Z-Trick the other day, and decide which configuration you think looks the nicest. I also encourage you to go to Tangle Patterns and check out Helen's examples. She's an amazing artist, and I love watching her draw, and I think for this one she has a video up for the Step Out on Tangle Patterns. So check out Helen's work, and here's how we do it. So the first step is going to be to, again, like Z-Trick, divide your squares on the diagonal, and I'm going to set up my design as I did in Z-Trick first. And then I'm going to fill in. It just is a little less confusing if you handle it this way. Now, the next step, after you have divided your square in half along the diagonal, is to choose which side you want to do this on, and make sort of a C shape, or in this case a backward C, right along the line so that one of them comes in right there where the diagonal line ends. Then you want to repeat that on the other side. And the rest is easy. You want to draw in aura lines. Remember, aura lines are lines that are parallel to an existing line and follows their curves or straight or whatever. Forgive my little wobbles. And that's it. Really, the most thought-provoking part of this is figuring out how to put the sections together so that you get a cool pattern. Helen seems to like this where you put these sort of C shapes together and they sort of make a flower petal. Sort of like this. And then you just add your aura lines to finish. Trust the pattern, it's going to work. If your lines are wonky, it doesn't matter. We're going to finish this up and shade it like it's perfect. Keeping in mind that the only perfection truly in art is the achieving of the goal that we set for ourselves with the piece. is never about true perfection, at least it shouldn't be, because you lose the joy in art if you're constantly worried about it being perfect. Okay, now I think I'm going to, whoops, mirror that so that we're starting another flower petal here. Then just add your aura lines. Thusly. And once again, they do not have to be perfect. This is another pattern where shading makes a big difference. Now, if I remember correctly, I think Helen, in one of her examples, has these petal shapes blacked in. And I'm sort of doing this quickly on the fly. And I'm not going to do an exact perfect job here, but you can see that just by handling it that way, you have something completely different looking than a normal grid-based pattern, right? Let's add some shading here. Let me show you what a huge thing shading is on this pattern. Now for this pattern, you're going to shade along your grid lines, both the diagonal and your original grid lines. Like that. And blend it out so that you've kind of got a deep sort of folded look to this. There. There. Now, how cool is that? Pretty cool, huh? Minimum trouble, minimum fuss, and very cool effect. Okay? Now, let's do a quick wonky grid. That's pretty wonky. Let's just live dangerously here. I think that gives new definition to the wonky. I start by bringing my diagonal lines together in a point in four squares together and sort of work out from there. Remember to let your diagonal lines sort of flow with the curve of the grid, which I did not do a very good job with. And then put your petal shapes and just let it be wonky in that fashion. Well, maybe not like that. But you guys see where I'm going with that. Just go with your lines. If they're bent, bend with them. If they're curved, curve with them. If they're short, be short. But this is how sails is done. I really love this tangle. You can see over here that I was playing with this in a little bit larger form and made my grid the wrong way over here. And so that wasn't the example that I wanted to use. This is the example I want to use. Let's get this in the pattern and we'll be finished for today. Well, I think we saved ourselves the perfect spot for this by putting Sea Wave in here yesterday. So let's use this spot right here. I can get this set. Putting the inner aura for separation between the sections. And let's see, I'm going to divide this. I want at least 4 in here. Take it easy, Simba. We're almost done. Yeah. Then I'm going to put my grid lines in. And so this will go this way, like that. Now I do encourage you to play with the configuration of sails in a grid. Turn your diagonal lines different directions and see what you come up with. Again, Helen has a variety of examples on Tangle patterns, so you might want to check that out. Or you can check out her blog. I know she's got examples there. Let's see, what do I do? Oh yeah, right here together, the petals. Once again, started without the glasses on today. Oh. You can always tell when I do that. Here we go. If you are still listening to my voice, good for you. I frequently put interesting tidbits of information in these at the end just to see who's paying attention. I'm teasing. Sometimes I don't think about it till the end and then, you know. Make sure you keep me in your prayers for next week. It's going to be a tough week. Going to see what happens. Nothing permanent will be happening, but we'll see. Okay, so continuing the petal, and let's just put a hint of one there. I don't think I really have enough room there, so to continue my auras. Now, I think they're going to go this way. There we go. Okay, now I think I am going to black in my petals, if you will. And I'm just going to slow down right now and enjoy the process of letting the ink soak into the paper. taking my time so there are no little white spots left. Making sure I have a nice thick coat of ink. So you guys, some of you have been wondering what we're going to do when we're finished. And I think we're going to continue with I'm going to continue with a daily pattern exploration. But I want to shift the focus a little bit towards more zenful activities. I think for so many of us, we have so many stresses in our everyday lives, and taking this moment, which I think the 100-day project was supposed to be for me, and it morphed and became so much more, but the thing that I wanted to achieve with it was a daily meditative, creative time. And so once we are finished with the 100-day project, what I'd like to do is morph the pattern explorations into explorations and meditations. And we will, of course, not be using a template. We may use more tiles. I don't know. I'm brainstorming ideas right now, and we'll see what we end up with. But I'm not going to leave you guys. This time with you has come to mean an incredible amount to me, relaxation-wise. Just my soul is being fed a lot by spending this time with you guys every day. And so I really want to continue that. And I saw today that we are at 985 subscribers today. I am amazed and thrilled. I think we went up 15 since yesterday. I think Nurse Nikki doing a droop version of droop on her channel and giving me a big shout out may have helped for the last few. So I'm really grateful to her. If you guys haven't checked out the YouTuber called Nurse Nikki is Learning to Draw, you should do that. She's a wise lady, and she's been so supportive of this channel and has been here every single day commenting and being encouraging. And so I really want to give her a shout out. She is a small creator. I think she's under 200 subs right now, but you can learn a lot from her just from the attitude with which she approaches life. And so I really highly recommend you go check her out. At least check out her droop video. I was thrilled. That is so exciting for me to watch someone who prior to this had no Zentangle experience take a pattern tutorial and do something with it on their channel. That was so meaningful to me. And this is the joy of Zentangle for me, guys, is sharing it with others. So, whoops, I got a little yucky spot there. I think I'm definitely going to do another shading run. Really get this blacked in darkly. Not blacked in, but shaded nice and dark in my little lines here. I don't know if it's my light. It seems like I'm not getting down much graphite. I may switch to my Zentangle pencil, which is, the difference is that this F pencil that I tend to use, which was definitely a recommendation from Annie Oken, from whose art club I'm a member. I've learned so much from that lady, and if you want some exceptional teaching, I really recommend you try her out. I just can't say enough about Annie and her teaching. She's wow. So check her out, and let's see what we ended up with today. Now, if you, like me, are working on an opus tile, which is the original paper from Fabriano, Italy, where they make the original Zentangle tiles, and it's basically the same paper, only on a larger form. So I'm using a large piece of Zentangle paper, basically, and it's I believe it's the Tipolo, Fabriano's Tipolo paper. And if you have missed me talking about Fabriano, the paper mill at Fabriano, Italy, before, it's one of the places they print the Euros, and one of the oldest printing paper making facilities in Europe, or in the world, I think, and have been making paper for hundreds of years. So it's a really cool place. If you're curious about that, Adele Bruno, who's a CZT and has a blog called Tickled to Tangle, and you should check her out because she has got a series on there where she visited Fabriano and visited the plant where they make these Zentangle tiles, and it was so interesting. I was so jealous by the time I got done reading it. That, I mean, the experience was so beautiful, and she did such a good job in sharing that and helping people to feel like they were part of that experience. So if you aren't familiar with Adele and her blog, you should really check her out. She does the It's a String Thing challenges every week, and which I have not had a chance to do since we started this project. But I'll be back, Adele. I'll be back. There are lots. I know the diva, Laura Harms, the CZT, I Am the Diva. She has done a weekly challenge, and she has been quiet since March. So I can only assume that she's a little overwhelmed out there. And so that makes it lonely without challenges. So, at least for me. So if you are looking for a weekly challenge to take the place of the Diva Challenge, then go over to Adele Bruno's site at Tickled to Tangle and join the It's a String Thing challenge. Adele is great at giving Zentangle challenges that really challenge you. So check it out. All right, you guys, this is day 76. This is the Tangle Sales by CZT Helen Williams. You want to look Helen up on Pinterest if you want to see some gorgeous art. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 77, and we will hit the last portion of our project in stride. Thank you guys so much for being with me today, and I will see you tomorrow.